Crypto products are unregulated and could be highly volatile. Please be aware of the risks before investing.
राज, बाबूजी के आशीर्वाद से हमने अपनी नई शुरुआत तो कर ली, पर अपना फ्यूचर प्लान कैसे करें?
बड़े-बड़े शहरों में ऐसी छोटी-छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं।
Looking for perfect start? Get a Bitcoin today. Download the UnoCoin app.
जब मैं तेरी उम्र का था ना, तो एक सक्सेसफुल करियर, लॉन्ग टर्म प्लानिंग सब रेडी करके रख चुका था। और एक इन महाराज को देखो, पूरा दिन फोन में लगा रहेगा।
दैट प्लानिंग तो मैंने भी कर रखी है, UnoCoin के साथ।
नए जमाने के साथ नई चीजें आजमाएं। Looking for Bitcoin? Download the UnoCoin app.
Guys, we really need to work hard. This wasn't a good quarter. Tell me, are you happy with this?
UnoCoin.
Want to earn Bitcoin? Just grab your phone and shake it. Download the UnoCoin app.
Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin.
Get a systematic buying plan from the UnoCoin app to get your Bitcoin today. Download the UnoCoin app.
On mute. Just noticed I was on mute. So hello everyone, once again welcome back to UnoCoin's weekly live sessions. और आज का हमारा session is very different from what we usually do. Today we're going to be talking about key trading insights for the bull run, and for that we have our own Mr. Sathish Aravind, who we know as an expert crypto trader. Sathish has joined us after a very long time, but guys, let me tell you that he's done a great job in the previous bull run as well. Having said that, this session is exclusively for educational purposes, so please do your own research. Hi Satish, how are you? Satish, can you hear me? Looks like there's a bit of an issue with Satish's input. We'll quickly check. Okay, Satish is back.
Is it fine?
Yeah, it is now. Hi,
Yeah, is it
Satish.
better?
Yep.
Okay. Just a second. There was some connectivity issue, I guess, for like last 20, 30 seconds. I hope now it's back. Anyways,
Right.
good to be back. Saudi. Yep.
Yeah, and good to have you. It's been so long, and I think everybody's been waiting for some good trading insights and waiting for Satish to come and tell them about some interesting trading insights. So, Satish, just to get a quick head start for our session today, we have seen that Bitcoin was $500 away from hitting $100,000, but it did not happen. It retracted, and now it's around 94, 93. So, what does that say about the overall market? And then we'll head into the main topic.
Go. Okay. Cool. Okay. I think again there is some lagging. Is it better now?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you and see you.
Okay. Probably there is some lagging when I can with respect to your video. Anyways, so yeah, very exciting times like past. It's I think the whole thing started exactly on November 5th, the election day, right? So before that, we had huge test of patient consolidation months, like right from March, I would say March, April, May, June, July, August. It's like 7, 8 months. So we had a base which is quite healthier because of that squeezed consolidation for so long is why we have that catapult moment, right? So we didn't waste any time within 70s or 80s much because we had been consolidating for a very long time, right? Which and also maintain the structure. We had the structure of 32K, 48K, and then we had been in 72 and 48. So we just treated the 48 in August, and then we kind of slowly grinded up. And I think the election day was kind of a catalyst which kind of made a breakout, and from then on it's going upward, right? And of course 100K is a huge psychological number which people have been aspiring for this. If I remember, even in 2021 cycle people have been aspiring for 100K. For the matter of fact, even 2017 there was a all these bizarre targets of 100K. So 100K is a very very psychological round number. So definitely is going to have a lot of resistance for sure, because a lot of people gonna cut take profits and all that stuff, right? But I think again nothing goes straight, nothing comes down straight, right? So there even in all the bull runs we'll have a healthy retrace of 15%, 20%, 25%. So I think this is one of such, and I think it's kind of inevitable where we have a good amount of bull run that's still far ahead away.
Yep. And this brings me to my next question, Satish. This is a very interesting insight. And trust me, I was all the time looking at the price. Okay, $500 away, $600 away. We are at 99. Oh my God. And I was consistently waiting for 100,000. But somehow, at the bottom of my heart, even I knew that it's not going to happen at least this month. We're going to have to wait a little more for 100K for Bitcoin. But yeah, it's not a question of if anymore. It's a question of when. So it's going to happen today or tomorrow. The idea is to keep stacking sats and as much as we can. Okay, now coming to my next question, Satish. There's still something that I haven't found clarity with. Are we in a bull run? Does the chart say that we are in a bull run?
Okay, see, a bull run there are different definitions for different people, right? So for me, I used to interact with quite a few folks in Monocoin, right? We used to discuss about the chart, the price, and all those stuff. So I still remember the date, June 18, 2022. So where Bitcoin kind of had that 17,000, and November where Bitcoin had 15,000, 15.5K, right? So according to me, from then on the bull run started, because I kind of able to from the technical analysis we speculated that could be a bottom when it bottomed. So it's like there is a the bull run has started from right from 15.5K right on the November. Of course bull run comes in phases. My thing would be like there is a initial phase where it slowly grind up just to move out of that bull market door. Then we have the consolidation, and there are quite a major chunk of your last phase, the phase which we are bullish, very drastic upward movement, right? The blow off top or whatever they can call it, right? So Probably we are currently in the, for me, as I told, for like last 2 years we are in a bull run. Of course, when I say the bull run, it's like uptrend, right? So right from 15.5 we have been in uptrend with, of course, there's gonna be 15%, 20%, 30% of drops, right? So that in that case we have already been in the uptrend for like last 2 years. For the the other standard of bull run, where, as I told, right, the last phase, or the phase where it's going to be very vibrant, and the euphoric phase will come, the greed index will go top on all those things, right? So that, I think, we, again, the psychological level of the 100 might play a key role, right? Because we, another thing is, see, if there is a thing called capital rotation, right? And also we have a new capital coming in, right? So if you see right now, last 2 weeks Bitcoin was kind of creeping up, while Ethereum and all others were just standstill, right? And interestingly, last 2 days, when Bitcoin is kind of going down, Ethereum is showing so much of strength, as well as all the good amount of altcoins also showing resilient, which nothing means that it's just about the capital rotation. So Bitcoin profit is just moving to Ethereum and other stuff, right? So the actual last phase will have a spur of new capital inflow, the retail users that will come, the auto driver nearby, our neighbors, everyone will start putting in money, 100 rupees, 1000 rupees, 5000 rupees, right? So that is the final phase which will come. Probably it might, it's still, we are not in that last spur. So but I think once the 100K is breached, the media goes bizarre. Then a lot of people, people who have been there in 2021 and then just left out of the crypto, they will start looking at it again, right? And that's when the FOMO kicks in and the whole cycle starts.
Yep. So I think the FOMO is yet to kick in, and a lot of I don't know if it is yet to kick in or it is already kicked in.
The FOMO is
Because,
filled with the people who are already, who stayed in the market, right? So it's still not FOMO enough for getting the new people in.
yep. I agree with that. I agree with that. I see a lot of people around now asking me about, "Ki, acha, did 100K happen or something?" I'm like, it will, eventually. But yeah, new customer flow is yet to happen, which is what we are looking ahead at 2025 mostly. And again, with a disclaimer, I'm going to ask you this question with a disclaimer. Guys, this is not a investment advice and this is not a prediction. This is just a personal opinion. When do you think are we gonna hit 100K? Any timelines in your mind?
Time bound, it's very, very, very difficult, Shambhavi. Like, we can do a lot of technical analysis, so it can happen. See, tomorrow we have, tomorrow is Thursday, right? We have Thanksgiving. Day after tomorrow is Black Friday. So there are a lot of psychological, these are the events which kind of, the whales play their games, right? So maybe we can, Thanksgiving is the day where all the family folks will sit together, have turkey dinner and other stuff, right? So it's a very good, occasion for reaching 100K, so that all the people will talk, the whole US will be talking about, Bitcoin during the dinner, Thanksgiving dinner. Can
Really?
happen, right? And followed by Black Friday, we might have a, one big discount, right? It can start retracing to 90K, 80K, and people start thinking. Then there'll be a talk like, okay, since Bitcoin touched 100K and the bull run is over, so all sort of speculation is going to come, right? So we can't predict actually with the time. We can't predict the time frame here, but we can go level by level, like, so definitely 100K, it's imperatively not wise to put in money when we are at 96 or close to 100K, because we never know, because as told, it's going to be a very huge resistance. So people have to wait for the pullback. Like we had a pullback yesterday till 90K, and probably can even go below 90K, 89, 88. Or if at all it flip 100K and maintain as a support, then again people can enter in, right? And then we have other levels like 114, 135, and all those levels. So again, don't you don't get into levels like 200K, 300K, 500K. Just go level by level. Once now the current level will be 100K, then 114, then 135, then 150. So we have to see level by level. Again, as I told, once it reach 100K, then probably we can go to 114. And again, don't get FOMO when it's near 110, 140, because 140 is going to be a key level, right? So I think going level by level approach makes more sense, so that we will have our emotions in check.
Okay, so I'm just gonna intervene here a little and do a little marketing and promotion of our SBP. Guys, if you want to avoid FOMO, use SBP, a very interesting feature on Uno Coin. Essentially, it enables you to invest every day or every week or every month as per your convenience. This way, you are dollar cost averaging your investment and purchase price, and you will never have the FOMO of missing the, you won't have the fear of missing out ever, because any which ways, it's going to be happening starting rupees 10. So you will always feel like, okay, I invested something when it was at this price. I think that has worked really well for me. So I
And
think,
especially if you're not so much of into technical analysis, or you're not experienced in trading and stuff, right? Because timing the market is very very difficult. And a very volatile market like crypto, the market makers, the whales, they're the only the only place to grab the liquidity from the retail people, right? So it's very very difficult to play the game against them and win over them. So the ideal way is not to be trying to be over smart and try to time the market. It's always better, try to dollar cost average. And SBP is definitely one of the very very effective tool that one can have during the starting of the journey.
yep, 100%. I agree. It is really, really, really useful. And if you are not an expert trader, uh, maybe try and go back to a few sessions that we have done previously with Satish. You will get a very good understanding of, where to begin with. And it's a process. You're never going to learn trading in one day. Satish, so just for the people who might be looking forward to their investment journey or their trading journey for the coming years, how do you suggest they get started with trading? Like, what are the most basic things they should know for trading for the upcoming days?
See, the very first, spend some time, right? Say some time understanding the basics. I mean, so basics that they don't need to kind of go to post and poll. So we have YouTube and a lot of stuff where they can easily. Or in fact, I also remember Unocoin social media also has a series of the charts, different kind of patterns and stuff, right? The very basic thing to try to understand, because once you go more and more let's for example, if it's very kind of a hygiene factor that all kind of what is candle, what is a uptrend or downtrend, what is a symmetrical triangle or liquidity or fair value gaps, right? So when you understand all those things, it's like a kind of you go through glossary and you should know what is what, right? At least the definition level, right? Once you have that, then probably try to the very first thing is not do the trading. So start with the see, it's the easiest one is long term, and going to the short term will be the levels, right? The level of toughness or difficulty. It's very difficult to trade in 1 hour market or 15 minutes market, but you can. We have a 4 year cycle theory, right? So that's kind of a very no brainer. At least till now, every 4 years we have bull run, and that's still intact, right from 2013, 17, 21, and now even 25. It's like going like a clockwork, right? So people can start working on long term, put some good decent amount of money that they can save, and kind of forget it with respect to the volatility, right? And they can have a small chunk of money for a swing trades, like the trade which can go for 10 days to few weeks, where again probably they can start with demo account. But the thing which I do won't actually recommend a demo account for the simplistic reason, because trading is all about emotions, right? So it's all about the decision. Everything is driven by emotion, and when there is no real money involved, the emotional quotient is completely out of the picture, which doesn't give you any fair sense of what you're doing in the real market, right? So even if it is small amount, just try to put a small amount and try to start doing it. uh, the only thing which I wanted to say is it's kind of a learning process, right? So you will lose money. No, there is no trader that can kind of claim that they have 100% hit rate, right? So the secret sauce of being a successful trader is kind of if I have to put it like minimizing the loss, right? So it's as simple as when you hit a buy button, right? When you have 100 rupees, when you hit the buy button, you start with a loss because you have incurred the trading fee and all those stuff, right? You already incurred a loss, right? So it's more about how you are going to minimize the loss is the first secret sauce of any trader. So if you're going to do 10 trades, and if you're going to have, let's say, 6 or 7 trades in your way, and if you have 3 trades, that is kind of gone in against your way, right? So maybe on in all the 7 trades you can do probably 500 rupees, 1,000 rupees profit, whereas in the 3 losing trade you make sure that you lose only 20 rupees or 30 rupees, right? That's the secret here.
Makes so much sense. Makes so much sense. So also, one more quick question, Satish, because past few years I've been observing this very interesting thing called fear and greed index. So I've seen this from fear to greed now to very very greedy sentiments as of now in the market. So how does that work, and what role does that play for your trading insights?
See, again, as I told, everything is the whole trading is about the oscillations of the human emotions, right? So whenever the market goes down, there will be fear. When the market goes up, the fear turns into greed, and greed turns into euphoric greed, right? So that's precisely where we have different oscillator into technical analysis, right? We have relative strength index, we have stochastic RSI, we have LMACD. There are tons of indicators. All if you see, it will be the whole representation will be mostly in the sine curve, the ups and downs of waves, right? So the ups and follows will be primarily because of the ups and downs of the human emotion. As simple as that. The whole crypto, or for that matter any trading market, is driven by human emotions, right? Always it's going to be up and down. So that's precisely what happens in crypto as well. So again, we have 4 year cycle. So every 4 years we'll have a euphoric phase. So there is a cheat sheet also, in Wall Street. It all primarily they developed it for traditional stock market, which also pretty much relevant for crypto as well, right? So we will have a euphoric phase. During the time the greed will be very high, and typically that's the time where we don't want to sell. People, no one will be in a mindset to sell because they think that things are gonna keep continuing going up. So now people, no one is going to see, if someone says that we already topped, 99.6k is the top, so now we are not going to see 100k. Most of the people will not accept that, right? Because we are in a phase like, okay, we are, as I told, we are already getting into the greedy zone. And we think that there is not we came so close, so we are going to reach it. And once we reach 100, as I told, 114, 135, 200, 300, 500, that's where the numbers are going to keep coming up, right? Of- so whenever we reached kind of a big euphoric greed, that's when the things, as I told you, nothing goes up forever and comes down forever, right? So once we kind of reach a inflection point, it started coming down, and the greed slowly start getting into fear. And again, during the bottom part, we'll have like euphoric kind of I mean the negative sentiment kind of a fear, where again people will not want to kind of buy, which is kind of a huge opportunity, because they again kind of a simple emotion, like the people fear that it's gonna keep gonna fall, right? So that's how it's, then again the things follows. So the ups and downs is gonna this is the primary driving force of this whole market.
Hmm. Very interesting. I see why there are so many discussion spaces that keep happening, because I think that's also one source of information with regards to, how the sentiments are going to function along. Also, one quick question with regards to the recent pump and then, the retrace. There's something called bull trap. So, first, I would like to know from you, what is a bull trap and what happened recently? Would you consider that to be a bull trap?
See, bull trap, technically, I mean, see, the whole market is driven by market makers, or for that matter, there are different players in the market, right? Market makers, we have big whales, we have algo bots, algorithmic bots. So all these are the primary one where they work on billions of dollars and they move the market, all right? So when I say they work on billions of dollars, again, I will try not to make it more complicated, try to explain it as simple as possible, right? So see, if I have 100 rupees, right, and if I wanted to sell at the top or sell at $100,000, I need someone who is convinced to buy 100 rupees of Bitcoin, right, at 100, at the very high price, right? So then only I can able to sell my 100 rupees. Let's say if I want to sell my 100 rupees to you at $100,000, there should be someone like you who is ready to buy at that high price, right? So if it's just for 100 rupees, let's say if I'm a big whale or I'm a market maker, or let's say I'm kind of a big player where I wanted to kind of drop probably around, let's say, half a billion, 500 million or 600 million worth of Bitcoin, which means I have to have the counterparty who are ready to buy 500 600 million worth of Bitcoin at higher price, right? Again, it's not going to be a single guy, it's going to be thousands of people. So there will be some manipulation that will happen to create that euphoria and things like that. Let's say 100,000 is psychological level. So once we reach 100,000, there will be a lot of people start buying in, right? When a lot of people started buying, that's when I can able to sell, because I wanted to sell at 100, right? So when a particular psychological level, a particular key level is being breached, and just kind of absorb that liquidity and again drop, right? So that's called the whatever. If it is like on the bull side or the buying side, it's called bull trap. If it is on the below, it just comes down and again started going up, it's called bear trap, right? It primarily just breach that level, but it won't sustain hold that
Ah,
level.
okay. Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting.
The reason why they do is because they want the liquidity. Only when there is a lot of people buying at $1,000, I mean $100K, $101K, $102K, then only a big guy can sell at that price. So that's the kind of a manipulation that will happen during the time.
Okay, very interesting. So, also, Satish, now coming to the altcoin side of the discussion, we know that, a lot of there was a huge gap with the altcoins price rise and the Bitcoin's price rise. I think the graph was almost like this, as I remember looking at it last time. This was the Bitcoin's price, and this was the growth of the altcoin price. Now, as you just mentioned, that Ethereum is picked up, and so have other coins slowly and gradually. Would you call it an altcoin season? How is that beneficial?
Probably. I mean, maybe it's still too early to say. See, one of the key indicators that we follow is Bitcoin dominance. Probably you might have been aware, right? So that's one primary thing which kind of help us to analyze whether Bitcoin is strong against altcoins, or altcoin is kind of taking over Bitcoin, right? So I think we are on an inflection point there. Maybe if I can show a chart. Let me check. Okay, I think I can show it. You guys
Yes.
able to see? Awesome. Okay, maybe I can go to slightly higher time frame. Let's say week, or even for that matter, I will take a month. Okay, so if you see, this is Bitcoin dominance, which is like percentage of Bitcoin's market share. We could say market share of Bitcoin, right? So see, currently the market share of Bitcoin or Bitcoin dominance is 58%. So out of the whole market, Bitcoin's market cap constitutes 58.48% of the market, right? So if you see, the dominance goes down again, same thing. In each chart, if you see, there'll be ups and downs, right? As I told, everything is about human emotions, right? So this is the previous to previous cycle, the 2017 cycle. So when the dominance is way higher, I think, which means that Bitcoin is showing more strength and altcoin will lag, right? And when the dominance started dropping is when the the altcoin season starts, right? So here, when this drop was the altcoin season, if you see, it was 2017, right? So 2017 is when the altcoin season came, and again, bear market and all those things, Bitcoin started taking the limelight. And if you see here, 2021, So 17, 21, we had that again a drop. So this is where the all season typically happened. Maybe I can put it here. So this is where the all season happened. This is where the all season happened. So this is 17. This is 21. Probably going by the frequency and cycle theory, this is where we'll have that all season in 2025, right? And if you could see, the top is keep dropping, right? So 2017 it was around high 90s, and in 2017 the top is around 70%, 73%. So I mean, going by this logic, probably this is the place where we can, there's a very good chance we might top here, and we are already seeing a lot of strength from, as I told you, Ethereum, and quite a good amount of altcoins are showing a lot of strength recently. So we have to just watch, continue monitoring it. If we see this one keep going down, I mean, when it kind of breach the key level, I think we can, to greater extent or greater possibility, we can say that all season started. But I think we are currently in a very early stage of all season, because we are most probably this could be the top of Bitcoin dominance.
Wow, sounds very interesting. And, I really like how much charts can, once you understand how to read the charts, it can tell you a lot about the market, and it's a very good, tool of information. Now, looking at the same thing, Satish, few more things help me understand because, anyways, a lot of people have predictions about this bull market being the longest that has ever existed. So what does the chart say? Does, first of all, chart have any insights on how long a bull run can supposedly last, or and also what is your idea on how long will this last? Will this be the longest bull run ever?
I don't think so. I mean, at least for personally, I don't have any artifacts or any confluence to support that, because in fact, if you see last four, the cycles, as I told it's 4 year cycle, right? Every 4 years we have a cycle. So the just I was observing, the nature or characteristics that happens for this kind of this 4 year, right? So 2022, 23, 24, 25, and it kind of matching with the previous cycle. So for all that matter of fact, I kind of believe it's still in synchronous with the 4 year cycle, which means like 2025. It's where we could see the top somewhere between the second half of 2025, right? And I don't see any reason why it can extend beyond 2025 and goes to 2026 at this point of time.
Yep, 2026. So, by the way, a very absurd thing that I heard around last year, I think, when Bitcoin has just started picking up, and it was around in January, it reached, I think, 60. So, before that, I was getting these very interesting theories around 2030 prediction. So, people are saying that it's gonna go $10 million by 2030. Again, guys, with a disclaimer of that this is no financial information and no prediction. This is just two people talking about their curiosities, and I'm the curious one here. So, what do you think about that, Satish?
10 million might, I mean, again, no one predict the future, because let's say 2 years down the line, we don't, at least I wasn't thinking there's going to be a company which is kind of bagging billions of the micro strategy, right? So they are kind of acquiring billions of worth of crypto, right? And the looking at the the first look of it, the US might turn into pro crypto because of Trump and all other officials that are getting into, and a lot of countries might adopt it as a reserve. Probably all the other big giants like follow MicroStrategy, like Google, Apple's, anything can happen, right? And the we never know what the 3 or 4 year down the line, how the war situation going to be, how the geopolitics is going to be, like. So it's very very difficult to predict. But again, just going by technical stuff, the fundamentals and all those things, so there is a power law, right? So if you see, one of the very interesting account to follow is Plan B, who kind of came up with a power law for Bitcoin. So based on that, I think we can go to million. right? So which is kind of a frugal one. Even last cycle, I mean 2021 cycle, it was is lab it's power law predicted 50 to 75k. This cycle it predicted around 200 to 500k. Next cycle, which means 24 to 28 cycle, it's predicted somewhere around a million. So which, that's kind of, going by mathematical way of computing it. It's primarily, calculate the demand and supply. It's kind of factored in the demand, supply, and all those stuff, and also kind to map it up with other kind of scarce assets like gold, real estate, and come up with this. So probably that is a way, but personally, 10 million or all those things can be far fetched in this decade, but
We
we
never
never know.
know. True. True that with Bitcoin and as volatile as the entire crypto market is, predicting anything and having a hunch on anything is it's very very difficult. Okay, now coming to an interesting thing, which is more of a personal experience defined. A lot of people, a lot of my friends, who I used to tell back in 2022, like, Bitcoin is at 16, Bitcoin is at 18, you can buy it now, yeah, this and that. Now all of these people have called me up and they're telling me now Bitcoin is already nearing 100K. Should I invest in meme coins? Would that turn into good gains? So is this also, just let me make it clear that meme coins are just for fun, as the name suggests, guys. So please do your own research before investing into meme coins or any cryptocurrencies at that. But just to understand the theory here, Satish, how do you think meme coins are going to perform this year? Are they going to turn thousands into millions?
They will. They will for sure. In fact, meme plays a very very crucial role in attracting newbies, right? New guys to the space. It's more than Bitcoin. It's because it's kind of for the new entrant. It's fun. It's affordable, and they see a vibrant community or a lot of news. Whereas Bitcoin is very kind of uh, how to say, psychologically it's a huge amount, and it's boring, right?
How
It
I
doesn't have
think
a
I
fun.
look at it is Bitcoin has become the Rolls Royce of cars in this.
No, that's how they. So we also have equally we have a responsibility to educate them, because it's not, we can just buy nuts and bolts of Rolls Royce, right? If it's just we can buy it in sats, right? It's not like if you want someone has to buy Bitcoin, they should have to shell out minimum
Yeah.
$99,000. They can buy for 99 rupees, right? Or for the matter 9 rupees, based on the exchange's minimum value, right? So we can buy 0.0000 up to 100 million, 1 by 100 millionth of unit, right? So that these are the things, again, for new entrant it's going to be very top of the head. So for that reason, meme like Dodge or Shiba, all those things, they can just put 50 rupees, 100 rupees, they can get 5 lakh units, 8 lakh unit, 20 lakh units, right? So all those things kind of make it very fun, and all those things, make it more enjoyable, to enter the get into the space or experience it, right? But the key issue here is, because as you have rightly told, memes doesn't have any fundamentals. It's more about, the more the people buy, the more the price, and more the people sell, the price goes down the sink, right? So it is very very difficult to time it. So people most probably, when the new entrant, when they join that bandwagon of meme, it's probably 90% it's going to be very late, right? Because for the simple reason, because it can be late, because the new entrant already discovered that and they are putting in money, which means that it's already been there, and the deep rooted guys who have been in the space, it's already been well placed way before, right? And there's a good chance they can't time the market, and they wouldn't able to sell at the right time. So these are the things are there. It's very risky play, and doesn't have fundamental, so it can completely wash out the investment that you're making in. And at the same time it can also be fun, so you can just play around with it with a very very minuscule amount that you want, so that you can kind of have a hands-on experience of how the whole thing works, feel the community and stuff. But don't try to make a huge chunk of your portfolio in that.
Yeah, that is very important. As the name suggests, meme is meme. So you don't put a lot of money into meme. I mean, you want to play around with your money, just do it. But yeah, I think a lot of times you mentioned it's hardly 1 or 2% of your portfolio maybe is something that you can allocate to meme coins. If it works out, works out, doesn't work out, doesn't work out. You are not worried about, yeah, this has affected my entire plans for the future. So that shouldn't be the case with meme coins. Whereas it goes to the other coin, I think, very recently I was telling this friend of mine that Bitcoin is the hard money. It's the, ultimate store of value or the cash for the future. All of these other cryptos, they are like these stocks of different blockchains. So you look at it like that, how the blockchain is performing, it's going to affect the overall token value. And of course, bull run has its impact. But the differentiation and understanding the differentiation is very important, because no other crypto is Bitcoin, and meme coins are also not like other blockchains, because at least cryptos have got that intrinsic value of the particular blockchain and their functionality altogether. So,
Right.
Satish, another quick question. Very interestingly, I actually thought of bringing that up at the start of the session, but I thought, let's first have a discussion around Bitcoin and the price and the retrace and all those things. Cardano has been your personal favorite for a lot of years, as I remember. And give us some insights into what are the things that you found in Cardano you thought is going to make it a good investment, and that is something that we should look for in maybe crypto assets to evaluate if it is a good investment or
Okay.
not.
Got it. See, again, it's kind of very personal, right? Because mostly, Cardano, it's I will be alienated because quite I might be a very handful of you who is like have a Cardano as favorite, because there are a lot of other hot coins like Sui or Sei or Aptos, a lot of other coins, Solana for that matter, which is like very fast, and they have all the things which is required to be functioning well, right? Speed or transaction cost, all the things are put together, right? For me personally, I mean, it's kind of personal, because and it doesn't have to necessarily have to be the same thing. For me, it's more about fundamentals, right? So how the whole blockchain as an architectural design has been approached, right? So it's kind of taking a slow peer reviewed academic approach, which is kind of opposite in all the other blockchains, right? So other blockchains, again, they have their own ways to tackle it. So I don't want to preach theory about the trilemmas, right? Scalability, decentralization and security part, right? um, so all the other the fast gen blockchains, they tackle scalability first. So they are scalable, highly scalable, they are very fast, they are very cost efficient, and but they compromise on decentralization part, which once they kind of stabilize this scalability and kind of have very good amount of users and all the other traction comes in, then they gradually works on decentralizing it, right? Whereas Cardano is kind of opposite. They work on a pure decentralized blockchain first, akin with Bitcoin, and because of which they had to compromise slightly on speed and stuff. Of course, Bitcoin, the speed is even way slower, right? But the security is uncompromised and decentralization is uncompromised. So similarly, Cardano, it's kind of a midway where it um taken an approach of decentralizing it first, and then now working towards scalability of with Hydra heads and with Leos and a lot of other stuff, right? So that's primarily the reason why I personally like Cardano. So the major thing is, again, coming back to a question, just to sum up, the key thing which we want to identify is the the tokenomics, whether the tokenomics is healthier. Again, that's a different topic altogether. Let's not get into that. Then about the core team, whether the team is credible, they have the history and stuff, and of course, just don't get into a very new flashy thing that's coming every day in and out, right? So let's say that they have been here for at least few months or a year, depends on your risk appetite. If they are, let's say, like Cardano, all the the blue chip, they have been there for a couple of cycles, which means like 7 or 8 years, right? So again, the more the risk, the more the reward. So the top 20, 30, 40, 50 market cap coins, if you take, the reward or the upside will be slightly limited compared to the micro caps, where it can do 100x, 10x, 20x, but there is a good chance it may also have a very high downside as well.
Yeah. So, all those things combined, I think it's been a while since we have kind of revised the idea of understanding what are the particular things that you're supposed to look for in a crypto asset before you start investing. So I think this is a very good question that I asked, and I think it was a revision for me as well. Okay, so another interesting question, Satish. Actually, a couple interesting questions, but I want to get started with this because a lot of people, as we know, are going to be joining us for this bull run. New investors are going to be joining us for this bull run. How does a beginner capitalize on a bull market?
For the beginners, I think the key thing, again, as I told, we are already in a good amount of progress into the bull run. So might be we are just pending in the last phase, right? So probably few months ahead, right? So this is the time not to get greedy. So maybe have a very very solid plan. So again, as I told, bef- before you put in your money, you have to make sure that you understand what you're doing, right? So there should be, as I told, at least basic understanding. If not getting into hundreds and thousands of coins, at least Bitcoin, have understanding about what blockchain, what is Bitcoin, why people are investing in that, and all those things, right? So and then put an amount, have a idea about whether you're putting it in the right time, or again, as I told, if it's going to be very hard nut to crack that part, you have DCA, SBP, and all those stuff, right? Do that. But again, as it keeps growing up, as the price keeps roofing up, make sure that you start siphoning off your portfolio. Just don't keep waiting that it's going to keep going up, right? That's the primary thing for next, I would say, 6 to 12 months. So it's about DCAing into the right very solid coins, and as it keep going up, try to withdraw in a small amount, and not just wait for 200k or 500, and just don't you know uh, kind of postpone your goal post. So probably you might have 150k as your target. Once 150k reached, don't postpone your goal post as 200. Like, okay, let it reach 200k. That is a source of disaster.
Okay, interesting and very correct. And I think this everybody who's watching and is looking to start their crypto journey as a beginner. These are very 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 crucial points for you all. So please make a note of it. Last question, Satish, from you for today is: how do we know, looking at a chart, that a bull run is nearing its end?
It's not that easy to just put it across. So there are, again, it's not a crystal ball, right? Chart also, it's speculative, right?
Yeah.
So we have 10 or 15 different indicators which says that we are reaching a top or something like that, and the more and more indicators pointing in a say at particular point, the more the confluence. So if I just have to put it like this, just a second. um,
Yeah.
is my chart visible? Okay, then let me, this is even more messier. Okay, let me have this only. See, one of the, I mean, I'm just giving you few indicators, like just to show you that where are we, the whole crux here is we have quite a decent amount of run that is still, in front of us, right? So let's say super trend. So this is one indicator where, we have a sell every 4 years, we have a sell and we have a buy. So when this one turns sell, probably, again, it won't be exact top, it might be slightly, let's say this, we had a top at 69,000 last cycle, right? So it showed sell indicator at 650, 657, which is quite decent. Still people will not leave the complete bear cycle, right? They will not hold for complete bear cycle. So this is one. We have, similarly, we have around 15 or more than 15 indicators which I personally follow. So the more the indicator, let's say this indicator turns sell, it doesn't mean that I will immediately sell everything, right? So similar to this one, if I have other indicators, everything is started showing me that indicates that the top is in or we are nearing the top, then I will be starting to go very aggressive on selling it out. So similar to this, most, or for that matter, all the indicators haven't showed any top sign yet, so there is still a good amount of room pending. Probably I will keep looking at it, and mostly 3 4 months down the line we might start looking more seriously about the top scenarios.
Okay, interesting. I think we're gonna be doing one more session then to see if we are actually looking at those indicators at that given point of time or not. But hopefully, I think we're all going to have a super bullish and exciting and fun-filled bull run. Especially, I think for me, I have completely moved on to one asset, and I think जितना समझ में आ रहा है उतना दिमाग लगाओ, as much as you can put your money and time and your, of course, time effort to understand that. Only utilize that part of it. If you're not able to go beyond it, just don't, unnecessarily put money into things that you do not understand. That is very, very, very crucial, because at the end of the day, you will have no one to blame but yourself. So always, guys, do your own research. That is very important. So, Satish, for the upcoming bull run, any remarks that you want all of us to know? Few things to keep in mind.
As I told, just don't go with the bizarre, numbers. Take it one level at a time. Like, probably, as I told, I mean, try to understand what are the key levels, or if not, try to have, few of the key influencers, filter out the noises. There will be a lot of noise that's gonna come in, as we getting into the bull run, right? So it's very, very important to kind of filter out the noise who are just trying to form engagement in Twitter or YouTube, and try to find the gems or the good accounts who actually provide value. I mean, I'm talking about the beginners and intermediate, because it's very difficult for them to individually strategize and get take a decision in the bull market, right? So of course they need mentors or someone who already have a good experience in this field, right? So the very first key thing would to filter out noise and try to get a good influencer or key opinion leaders and follow some few. And again, just don't go bizarre with the numbers like 200k, 500k, or 1 million, 10 million. Go, probably, I think, as I told you, the key level now, if at all it has to go to 10 million, it has to first breach 100k, right? Which we haven't, right? So the very first thing is, let's breach 100k, right? Once we breach 100k, then think about the next one. As I told, for me it's like 114k, then 135k. So for me, I will go one, 114k. If I will start taking out small amount of money out, right? If at all, if that's the profit, that's the top, then by the time goes, we'll come to realize that's a profit, and we'll start taking out more, right? But if you keep waiting for 200k, then you will be like, it will be too late to realize that you should have taken it way back, right? So go level by
Yeah,
level.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Go level by level. Look just one step ahead at a time, because 100 miles ahead, it's not even visible. Even in the practical life. So, guys, make a note of all of these pointers. We're gonna have Satish back around sometime soon again. Once we see some interesting movements in the market to understand volatility and other things that are happening around. Till then, always do your own research, keep stacking sats if you do not understand anything else, and yeah, anything if you want to understand, I think we can find Satish on Twitter and reach out to him for any questions that you might have. Other than that, UnoCoin is always here for your service. Please do follow us on all of our social media channels: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, for getting the latest updates and insights on what is going on and when we are going to be going live next. By the way, on this note, we are going to have a very interesting and special session today with our CEO, Mr. Sathish Aravind, after a very, very, very long time. on the Bitcoin, price action again. So make sure to come and mark your calendars for 7:30 tomorrow evening. We'll see you tomorrow again. Thank you so much, Satish. This entire session was really, really, really insightful, and I think a lot of people would have gotten to learn so much more from this. But yes, this is like I think we've done this in all of our sessions, that it is something we cannot cover in just one sessions. So we're gonna need more time and insights from you where we understand this further. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Shameen. It's a pleasure talking to you again.
Yeah,
Nice meeting you
likewise,
guys.
Satish. Thank you so much. Bye bye, everyone. Good night.